What's good, everybody? It is your man here, the Todd voice, back with another YouTube video. You know, everybody says that they want a relationship. They say, I want somebody loyal. I want somebody consistent. I want somebody I can grow with. I'm tired of being single, and that's fine. But I'm really starting to wonder if people really want relationships anymore, or if they just like the idea of having one. Because be wanting someone and actually making room for somebody in your life, that's completely two different things. And I think that's where we're getting things messed up. We want somebody to text us good morning. We want somebody to lay next to us all night long. We want somebody to travel with, somebody to go out with, someone to love us, someone to be there when life gets rough. Then the relationship starts requiring something from us. Now you've got to communicate. Now you've got to compromise. And you know, somebody might actually ask you, where have you been? Now you can't just appear for 2 days on the whim and pop up like nothing happened. Now, some of those people in your DMs need to go, and you might have changed a few things of how you've been living, and all of a sudden, you're trying to control me. No, you said that you wanted a relationship, and relationships come with responsibilities. And I think that social media and these dating apps have made this even worse, because even when you've got somebody good sitting right next to you, that phone keeps reminding you that there might be somebody better. Just keep scrolling. There's somebody prettier. Just keep scrolling. Somebody younger. Just keep scrolling. Somebody with more money. Just keep scrolling. Somebody with a better body. Just keep scrolling. Somebody who looks like they have the perfect life. So instead of putting the work into the person that we already have, we're sitting there wondering if we can upgrade. And I'm going to tell you something. At 20, maybe you can play that game for a while. Maybe even at 30. When you start getting into your 40s and 50s, how many times are we planning to start over? Because at this age, everybody has something. I've got something. You've got something. We've lived some life. We've made mistakes. We've had relationships that didn't work. Some people have kids. Some people have ex-spouses. Some people have financial problems. Some people have trust issues. You're probably never going to meet some perfectly packaged human who has never been through anything, and neither are they. So eventually you've got to ask yourself, do I actually want somebody to build a life with, or do I just want somebody who fits perfectly into the life that I already built? Because those are not the same thing. A real relationship is going to inconvenience you sometimes. You're going to have conversations you don't want to have. You're going to have to explain yourself sometimes. You're going to have to apologize sometimes. And yeah, sometimes you're going to have to do something you don't necessarily feel like doing because it matters to the person that you love. That's not losing yourself. That's being with somebody. Now, I'm not talking about letting somebody control you. I'm talking about regular, everyday compromise. And it seems like even that's become too much for some people. Everybody is protecting their peace, which I can understand. Everybody is setting boundaries, which I can't understand. But everybody is also cutting people off, and that's terrible. And some of that is necessary, but at some point, you've got to be careful that we are not building so many walls around ourselves that nobody can actually get close to us. You can protect your peace so much that you end up protecting yourself from love too. And that's the part that I don't think people want to admit. That's the part I think people don't want to admit. Some of us aren't single because there aren't any good people left. Some of us are single because we've gotten so comfortable doing everything our own way that another human being feels like an interruption. And maybe the question is, why can't I find somebody? Maybe the question is, if I found somebody good tomorrow, would I actually make room for them? Everybody wants a relationship until it's time to act like you're in one. And there's one more thing that I hear a lot nowadays when people talk about relationships: peace. Everybody is protecting their peace. And I understand it, especially when you get older. You know, people finally get the life the way that they want it, and nobody is questioning you about anything. And after you've lived your life like that for so long, bringing somebody else in is really not doable. Bringing someone else into your life can almost feel like you're giving something up. But I think that's where we have to be careful, because there is a difference between somebody disturbing your peace and somebody simply requiring that you make room for them. Every disagreement isn't toxic. Every compromise is in control. And every time somebody expects something from you doesn't mean that they're disturbing your peace. Sometimes that's just a relationship. And maybe that's part of what's happening to us. We say we want love, we say we want companionship, but we've gotten so comfortable with our peace that we don't want somebody coming in and changing any of that. And if that's what you want, there's nothing wrong with that. But then maybe we really need to be honest with ourselves. Do you really want a relationship, or do you just want to be alone?
A lot of men aren't leaving because they cannot handle a good woman. They are leaving because they are tired of paying for damage they did not cause. So you think you're Mr. Right, right? You check all the boxes. You're calm, you're consistent, you provide, and you are still getting attitude, you're still getting distance, you're still getting tested, you're still getting manipulated, you're still getting disrespected. Now you're confused because you don't get it. You don't see what it is you're doing wrong. And to be honest, it's nothing. You are simply dealing with somebody who's in defense and reactive mode. A lot of women don't hate men. They just don't know how to act when they are not being hurt. So they self-sabotage. They create problems where there are none. They question intentions that are clear and they pull away when things start to feel steady. Because these women are used to chaos and peace feels unfamiliar and unfamiliar feels unsafe. And a lot of men, they're going to deal with that for a while, but at some point they're going to check out because no man wants to keep proving himself to somebody who is committed to misunderstanding him.
To that guy who made the video going, ladies, is it true that you're happier on your own because you're tired of being lied to and cheated on and treated badly, and now you have achieved peace? Sir, do you see me? I am out here in the backyard looking at my plants, listening to the birds chirp. There's nobody bothering me. There's nobody getting on my nerves, disturbing my peace, asking me nothing foolish like what time is dinner. I don't have to do none of that. Guess what? If I don't want to eat no dinner, I don't have to eat none. I don't have to cook none. I can take myself out. I can go to the museum. I can go to the ballet. I can go out to a jazz concert. I can just do absolutely nothing. Go swimming. Just enjoy life. I'm packing. PAAC. Peace at all costs, baby. I am the official leader of the pack.
If your woman isn't making your life easier, stay single. I'm serious. A relationship is supposed to bring peace, not pressure, not stress, not constant arguments, not emotional chaos. Life already hits hard enough. Work, money, responsibility. You shouldn't have to come home to another battle. If being with her means you're more drained, more distracted, more on edge, I'm sorry, but that's not love. That is self-sabotage.
It says a lot when a man is at peace and that said woman is no longer a part of his life. When a man reaches a point where he is calm and unbothered and distant from that woman, because that kind of peace does not happen overnight. Believe me, that's a man that went through frustrations, conversations, and effort. And then something in him shifted, and this is what women miss. When a man gets to that place, it is no longer anger, it's detachment. So now the things that used to matter to him does not hit the same. The arguing, the emotions, the tears, even the effort, it does not move him like it used to. Because mentally, he has already created distance. And once a man finds peace without you, he never will feel the need to go back to what disrupted it. And this is what women got to understand. When a man feels better without you, it is over. He will never come back, no matter what.
When it's time for me to pack it up, this is what he's left with. A man talk about something, I don't need a woman, I don't need this. But this is what he's left with when I'm gone. When it's time for me to pack it up, this is what he's left with. This is what he's left with, guys. All this because he pays all the bills. This is what he's left with. Decorations going out of the bathroom. This is all my things. I'm about to pack all this too. This is what he's left with, guys. This is what he's left with. This is all his stuff.
What a lot of females don't get is that a man don't need to have decorations. He don't need to have furniture that match unless he want it. You ever heard the term, they say men are simple, men are basic? That because men are the epitome of survival, meaning that we'll eat biscuits for 2 weeks if we got to. Now that's unfathomable to some people, right? Just bread, just biscuits. Yeah, just bread, just biscuits. You see what I'm saying? When it comes to survive, if you're living with a woman and that y'all at bare minimum, she would get emotional and angry just to get you to go out and get meat. When I say meat, I'm not just talking about edible meat, right? I'm just talking about to get the extra thing. She want to be in the bed. She just don't want to be having maybe a couple soft blankets and some pillows to lay on the carpet. She want to be up. She want to be able to step up in the bed and lay on a mattress. And there's nothing wrong with those things, but this goes to show you that the female does not understand the male. But it just goes back to show you that men don't have to have all those things. She thinks she's doing something big. She thinks she's doing something hurtful. She thinks she's showing the world, if I leave, you don't got nothing. You don't got no window drapes. You don't got no curtains. You don't got no hardware, no silverware. But a man don't have to have that. He'll have a fan that you plug up if you get hot. You know what I mean? He may even have a backup electric heater in case it get too cold and the vents are not blowing out enough heat during the winter time, right? So it's basics. The man will always have the basics and always teach his children not only to have the basics. It's not that because he don't want to have more, he don't want his kids to have more, or he's not going to get more. It's because he don't need those things to be happy. That just goes to show you. Basically, she talks about the man say he chose peace, right? And if peace means just him being in a one-bedroom apartment or efficiency or whatever with no furniture, but just the basics of lights and and a roof over his head, that's all he needs.
Never marry the girl who gave you butterflies. Marry the woman who gives you peace. Every man remembers his first love, the girl who hit him like a storm, the beauty, the passion, the fire, the one he lost sleep over, and the one who maybe broke his heart. But here's what men learn later in life. Your first love isn't always the woman your soul can rest with. A man's first love is pure emotion, attraction, intensity, chaos. She probably felt like a drug, extremely unpredictable, exciting, a crazy high that you kept chasing because you didn't know that the crash would hurt badly. But peace becomes the real treasure once life kind of humbles you.
And I remember while I was in the relationship thinking, I just want peace. I just want peace. And in some ways, I still felt connected to this person, but I knew that the heaviness, the sadness outweighed, the connection that I was desperately, trying to hold on to. And when I finally got sick and tired of how I was feeling in that relationship, I ended it. And it was hard, but I did. When we finally separated, it's like I felt peace in a way that I had not felt in so long, and it felt so good. And yeah, I thought about him from time to time, but I also thought about my peace. Because when I thought about him too long, you know what happened? The peace suddenly disappeared.
Unpopular opinion, men hate arguing with you. He would much rather have a peaceful conversation than a full-blown ass argument, which is why when he comes to discuss an issue with you, he understands that he is taking a huge chance on disrupting his own peace. He understands that this can go left and you can flip this on him later. He understands you can bring up an argument that has nothing to do with what he's trying to talk about right now. That's why you get one shot. That's why you get one opportunity for that man to come and talk to you and for you to use that shit against him. That's why right now it's going to be important for you to show him that you are a safe space, that it is okay for him to come to you so y'all can have real discussions, so that your relationship can grow and flourish. Because if you don't, he's going to shut down. He's probably not going to talk to you about shit else, and eventually he's going to move on.
I'm sorry, but when it comes to my peace of mind, I'm going to choose me every time. I'd rather have a peace of mind than a piece of a raggedy funky with community. Who the wants that in this day and age? I'd rather have my peace of mind and my sanity than to be stressed out over a nothing causing me migraines and other illnesses because of the stress. I'd rather have peace of mind and a healthy immune system than to put myself through all that stress and chaos and allow that to wreak havoc on me, not only physically, but psychologically as well. It ain't worth it. Ain't no raggedy worth your peace of mind and your sanity. If a bring chaos and confusion into your life, show that where the door is.
And she was pleasant, wasn't she?